The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. A sharp rattle against the granite that sliced through the hum of the dishwasher. I froze mid-sip, the bitter dregs of my coffee burning my tongue. The screen lit up with her name, Lila, and the preview of her text, "I'll be staying at Jake's tonight. Don't wait up." My stomach lurched, a cold, twisting knot that felt like a fist clenching my insides. Jake. Her coworker. The guy with the easy laugh and the too long eye contact I'd noticed at the company barbecue last month. I set the mug down, the ceramic clinking too loudly in the quiet house, and stared at the words until they blurred. It wasn't the first time Lila had stayed out late. Her job at the ad agency demanded long hours, client dinners, and team bonding nights that stretched past midnight. I'd grown used to the empty side of the bed, the faint scent of her lavender shampoo lingering on the pillow. But this was different. The casual tone of her text, the way it assumed I'd just nod and go to sleep, stung like a slap. I typed a reply, "Okay, love you," then deleted it. My thumb hovered over the keys, a tremor running through my hand. "What's going on at Jake's?" I typed instead, but I didn't send it. Not yet. The house felt too big, too still. The living room stretched out before me, all sharp angles and shadows cast by the single lamp I'd left on. Our wedding photo hung above the couch, Lila's smile radiant in her white dress, my arm around her waist, both of us oblivious to the cracks that would form 5 years later. I walked to the window, the glass cool against my palm, and stared into the dark street. A dog barked somewhere down the block, a lonely sound that echoed my unease. Was I overreacting? Jake was just a friend, she'd said. A mentor, even. But the way she'd laughed at his jokes, the way her hand had brushed his arm at that barbecue, it hadn't felt like just anything. I opened the text again, rereading it as if the words might rearrange themselves into something less damning. My mind raced, stitching together fragments of the past few months. The late nights she'd blamed on deadlines. The way she'd started locking her phone. A new habit that had crept in without explanation. The perfume she wore now, sharper and muskier than the soft floral she used to love. Each memory was a pinprick, small but cumulative, building a picture I didn't want to see. I typed again, "Why Jake's?" and hit send before I could second-guess myself. The 3 dots appeared, then vanished. Appeared again, then stopped. My pulse thudded in my ears, each second stretching into eternity. Finally her reply, "Just a work thing. Teams crashing there to finish a pitch. No big deal. No big deal." The words felt like a dismissal, a pat on the head to quiet a nagging child. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the knot in my stomach tightened, and my fingers itched to call her, to hear her voice and gauge the truth in it. Instead, I opened my laptop, the screen's blue glow harsh against the dim room. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was the way her text had landed like a stone in my chest. Or maybe it was the memory of her dodging my questions about Jake last week. I logged into our shared cloud account, the one we use for bills and photos. My hands shook as I scrolled through her recent uploads, expecting nothing but work documents or selfies. Then I saw it. A photo, timestamped 2 nights ago, of Lila and Jake at a bar. She was leaning close, her hand on his knee, her smile too wide, too intimate. The background was all neon lights and blurred faces, but their connection was sharp, undeniable. My breath caught. A ragged sound in the silent house. I slammed the laptop shut, my heart hammering so hard I thought it might crack my ribs. The room spun, the edges of my vision darkening. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to drive to Jake's and demand answers. But I just sat there, gripping the edge of the couch, the fabric rough under my fingers. Was this who we were now? Was this what 5 years of marriage boiled down to? A text, a photo, a lie? I thought of the mornings we'd spent tangled in bed. Her laughter filling the room. The promises we'd made. Had it all been a facade? I grabbed my phone and called her. It rang once, twice, then went to voicemail. Her voice bright and professional. "This is Lila, leave a message." Felt like a mockery. I hung up, my throat tight. I could drive to Jake's. I knew where he lived. We'd dropped him off after a group dinner once, his sleek apartment building looming like a warning. But what would I do? Knock on the door and confront them? What if I was wrong? What if I wasn't? The next hour passed in a haze. I paced the house, the hardwood creaking under my steps. I opened the fridge, stared at the half-empty wine bottle we'd shared last weekend, and slammed it shut. I checked my phone obsessively, hoping for another text, an explanation, anything. Nothing came. By midnight, the silence was unbearable. I grabbed my keys, my jacket, and headed for the car. The night air was crisp, biting at my skin, but it couldn't cut through the fog in my head. Jake's building was a 20-minute drive, each mile amplifying the dread pooling in my chest. I parked across the street, the engine ticking as it cooled. His apartment was on the 5th floor, and through the glass facade, I could see a light glowing in one of the windows. Was she there, laughing with him, touching him? My hands clenched the steering wheel, the leather creaking under my grip. I wanted to storm up there, but fear held me back, not just of what I'd find, but of what it would mean. If I saw them together, there'd be no one seeing it. No going back. My phone buzzed, and I fumbled to grab it. Another text from Lila. "Hey, you okay? I'll be home tomorrow morning. Love you." The words felt hollow. A bandage on a wound already festering. I stared at the message, my thumb tracing the edge of the screen. Love you. Did she mean it? Had she ever? I typed a reply, my fingers moving on instinct. I saw the photo. You and Jake at the bar. I hit send, my heart in my throat. The response came faster this time. What photo? What are you talking about? The denial was so quick, so smooth it felt rehearsed. I sent the screenshot from the cloud, my hands trembling. The 3 dots appeared, lingered, then disappeared. No reply. I leaned back in the driver's seat, the headrest cold against my neck, and stared at the lit window. Minutes ticked by, each one heavier than the last. Then the light in Jake's apartment went out. My breath caught, my eyes straining in the dark. A figure appeared at the building's entrance. Lila, her coat pulled tight, her hair catching the streetlight's glow. She glanced around, her movements quick, almost guilty, then started walking toward the subway station. Alone. No Jake. No team. Just her, hurrying into the night. I could have followed her. I could have called out, demanded answers, let the anger spill over. But I didn't. I sat there, frozen, as she disappeared around the corner. The truth was there, in her hurried steps, in the photo, in the silence of her non-response. She hadn't been working. She hadn't been with the team. And yet, she was leaving Jake's alone. Was it guilt? A fight? Or was it something worse? Something I wasn't ready to face? I drove home, the city lights blurring through the windshield. The house was still empty, still too quiet. I sat on the couch, the wedding photo staring down at me, and waited for morning. When Lila came home, her eyes red-rimmed and her voice too bright, she'd say it was nothing. A misunderstanding. And I'd have to decide whether to believe her, or whether to confront the truth that was already breaking me apart.